Kids. I am. I got some more questions from your teacher, uh, and so I'm gonna answer them in this video here. Layla asked, "When did you start being an author?" My first professionally published book uh, was when I was in like my mid to late 20s. That was my first one. But I started drawing books when I was a kid, when I was your age. I think the first book I remember drawing and writing was like an illustrated guidebook of various monsters. And I started to did that when I was like 5 or whatever. But yeah, my first published book was mid to late 20s. Uh, Dalianis, sorry, I'm positive I pronounced your name wrong. Asked, how many days or months or years did it take you to make this book? 1 year. It takes me 1 year to make one book. Um, and whenever I say that, oh, balloons. Oh, I forgot if you go like that, balloons come up. Um, Kids always gasp when they hear me say that it took me 1 year to make a book, which to me, it doesn't seem like a lot, but like if you're 10, yeah, 1 year, that's 10% of your life, so that's a long time. But anyways, it takes me about 1 year to make one book, which doesn't feel like a lot to me, but Corey asked, did you have a tree house when you were a kid? I did not. I always wanted one, and I never had one. My dad built me a clubhouse, but it was not good. And it was full of spiders, so I never went in it. My son has a clubhouse. We just built a clubhouse for my son. I wanted to build him a tree house, but he said no, he wanted a clubhouse. But his clubhouse is nice. It's really nice, and we put a lot of work into it. It is also filled with spiders. What's the deal? Uh, Mia, sorry, I'm getting these names, pronouncing them incorrectly, asked, what was your first book? The first book I published was called Everything Explained Through Flowcharts. And it was a book of charts about different subjects, like different kinds of ghosts, salad dressings, action heroes, um, dreams, things people say to your dog. It was all these different charts. I used to make a lot of charts. As another name I'll probably get wrong. Isabella. Sorry. How old are you? I am 45. Another question that when I answer, children often gasp. They go, "Oh my God, it's not that old." Um, how long have you been an author? I answered that one already. Pro Professionally, since like my late 20s, I would say. This is my first published thing. How many kids do you have? I have two. Um, and I got two boys. They're 2 and 9. And they also like books, big readers. Amira asks, what is your real name? I'm not gonna tell you. Sorry. Doogie is a nickname, but it's been a nickname for almost my whole life. I got it back in school, and I'm just so used to it. It's just become like my name. And so I don't like when people use my other name, my secret name. They could use it to cast a spell on me. Are you gonna finish the series or are you done now? So I'm working on book 3 at the moment. It's called Monster Mash. That takes place at Halloween. It's pretty good. And then I have already signed a contract to do the book 4. Book 4, I'm going to bring back Trash Robot. This is something I've been wanting to do, something I've been planning. Book 4 is going to be a good one. So right now I'm going to do at least 4. I might do more. I think I'll just see how I feel or see how the publisher feels. Um, Emma C asks, do you make other books? Yes, I do. I wrote a young adult novel, coming of age novel called This Might Hurt a Bit, which was a kind of memoir about when I was a teenager growing up in the country. That's it's pretty good. Um, and then I illustrated a bunch of middle grade nonfiction called the Kid Legends series, which are books about kids, like famous people when they were kids, so like presidents when they were kids or athletes when they were kids. And then I did a book called 100 Ghosts, which is a fun little book of illustrated book of ghosts. And I did a book called Some Very Interesting Cats Perhaps You Weren't Aware of. If you're interested in reading some of my other books, that's probably the one that you would like the most. Some very interesting cats, perhaps that you weren't aware of. It's got 100 different cats in it, and each one has like a little short story, and it's good. And Gabby asks, why did you name him Stanley? The only reason I named the main character Stanley is because at the beginning of book one, there is a scene at the science fair where there's a sign that says stain remover, and Stan bumps into it, and the stain remover spills on him and turns him invisible. But at the same time, the letter I falls off the sign, so it no longer says stain remover, it says Stan remover. And so it's just like a little visual, semi-hidden visual joke. And so the only reason I named him Stanley was so I could have that joke in there where stain changes to Stan remover. And then the other main character, Gene, the reason I named him Gene was because originally in the book, Gene was older. I did a version of Invisible Boy before the published version that was just black and white, and Invisible Boy was totally invisible. You couldn't see him. If you want to check it out, you can see it on my website under the mini comics section. But in this version, Gene was older, and when he turned invisible, his name became Unseen, or he was originally called Unseen Teen, but I changed him to younger in the book, and so now I was like, well, he can't be Unseen Teen anymore. He's not a teenager. What rhymes with teen? Gene. So that's why he's Unseen Gene. But so that's why I named him Gene, Eugene, only because it rhymes with unseen. Um, and then that's it. Those are all your questions. So, um, thank you very much, kids. I really liked talking to you yesterday, and your questions yesterday were good too. Uh, to me, the most interesting question was somebody asked, they said, what was Cheese Cat's name before? And I said, what do you mean before? And they're like, well, he's not a kitten. He's a stray cat. He was living. He was somebody's cat at some point. So what was his name before Stanley called him Cheese Cat? And I thought, oh, that's a good question. And so, anyways, thanks for listening, guys. And I hope I answered all your questions. And I hope you're having a lovely day in sunny Florida.